but it's the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. How are you all doing today? We are joined today by our special guest, Adam L. How's it going?
Dude, I'm fantastic. I'm missing a bit of a thumb, but I'm plugging away here. I'm in lettering land on the last issue of the 8th. This kind of threw me off my schedule, but it's good. It's a good ride. You know, it's a cooking accident. Of course, right? I got these brand new Japanese knives. I was just very, very keen on, and so you know, it's a mess and painful and all those things.
Yowzers, that's crazy.
Yeah, one of the funniest things about Wyman is they, you know, the tip of the thumb came off. My wife was grabbing it, you know, to help me get to the ER. She had it in her hand, and she passed it to me, and then it fell into the dirt. Of course. And so I'm scrambling, got it out of the dirt, and so I'm here at the hospital with this piece of thumb, and like, hey, can you help? Yeah, it was quite the moment. So.
Oh dear.
Yeah, typing in like any sort of work, you know, became a bit of a problem for a few days, but I'm back. So. Oh
my gosh, is that the thumb on your drawing hand or your?
Which is my left hand. So it's okay. And so, I've survived, you know, see when I do the lettering, you know, not all letters, but sometimes I'll do, you know, you draw stuff, you draw text, or you're doing something as a piece of art versus just like a typing. And, so I had to get rid of my tablet. I couldn't quite use it because you use your thumb to do stuff. Anyways, it's been a thing, but I'm back online. I figured out the 4-fingered system. I'm ready to rock.
All right. Oh, good golly. Oh man.
Yeah.
Glad to hear you're back in business though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome, Alejandro VS. Good to have you. Thanks for coming. Welcome, Balzette, NC17. Hey, Eric. Eric McIntyre's here. Hey, peeps. Welcome, Yotam Darkstar. Hail, everybody.
Yotam, yes.
Eric's
Yotam. It's my boy.
Right on. That's why you have 2 thumbs, just in case you lose one.
That's right, Eric. You understand. Eric is awesome. He's been on these streams a bunch. He's a rad dude.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Ooh.
For sure. Ouch, I sliced my finger open on some good knives once, never even felt it.
I wish I had the never even felt it part, but
oh man,
not so lucky.
Did you scream pretty loud when it happened?
No, I kind of went into shock and was like, okay, let's get going. And my wife and I were trying to drive, you know, somehow in these moments of panic, you're like, the hospital, you kind of all of a sudden magically forget where it is, you know, but it was like, I stayed pretty calm, and it wasn't until they tried to stick the top back on it and like tape it back up for a minute, you know, before they put pain medication on it, and then the pain hit a really high level.
Ooh,
you know, the dirty piece of thumb. Hey, Frog G.
Oh my gosh, yeah, hail Frog G. Oh
yeah.
Goodness, yeah, that's a feeling I'm not looking forward to.
No. No.
I hope not to experience it, actually.
Yeah. That's why 2 thumbs. I hit a nerve. Still numb for several days.
Hit a nerve on my ring finger. Damn, numb after several years? Wow.
Yeah. No, it's no joke. And the crazy thing is, when I was in the ER, Wyman, that the guy on the other side of the curtain, he also had done something to his hand as well. And then the guy left to me had a dog. The dog attacked him, and it was just like all of this, like hands being hurt, and I was just like, Stay in the zone. I'm one with the force. I'm one with the force. You know, try to zen out through it. Yeah, right. Try to zen out. Just do a little Donnie Yen there. So, yeah.
Dang. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh wow. Oh
yeah.
I'm so sorry it took so long to get you on my channel.
No, I'm glad you had me on, dude. And that's a perk of IGG is they got in demand, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was mostly scheduling because you were so darn busy, and you were on a bunch of other channels already. But it's nice to finally have you.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's and I do board games too, and so this was going, and I had a board game on Kickstarter going called Asunder, and it's my second one there, and so I was trying to live in two worlds, you know, two camps. Usually, you know, because you'd think that people like comics all like board games and the vice versa, but it's not exactly the case, especially because it was an RPG game, like a Dungeons and Dragons style.
Okay.
So like you have to kind of divide your camps, and also board games they just don't work on Indiegogo. That's just like unfortunately. Right? Yeah, the audience just isn't there. There's no really good examples of successes on it, and it's a shame because Indiegogo is so much better for the back end and like the management of it versus, you know, Kickstarter is kind of, you know, the back end is you're miserable. You know, you have to use backer kit or you just and you know, no one likes that. So, anyways, it's but it's where the board gamers are. So you know, you kind of you got to make it work. But
yeah, you got to go where the audience is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So, let's see here. Oh, hold on. Jason says topic list is tonight, and I can't watch y'all. Have a good stream.
Oh, Jason, what is this here, dude? What is this? By the way, Bascom's book, Absolute, was very good. You know, I've backed about, you know, over 100 books.
Ooh.
And I've got a pile in, you know, I've
Nice.
got piles of them in, and I do my best to read every single one
Cool.
that comes in. And his stacks up pretty darn good in the pile. Yeah, it was pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, I've heard all kinds of good stuff about it. I have it, but I haven't actually had the chance to read any of my books.
Oh,
But I've done a lot of backings. Let's see. Okay, everybody step to the left to proceed to the hand section of the ER. The human body is amazing. I worked in EMS for 8 years and ran a call where a guy's left arm was ripped off by a semi-truck.
Wow.
The trauma surgeon was able to save the entire arm. Whoa. The guy got most of the function of his arm back, too. That is skill. Oh, my gosh.
That's rad. That is super, super rad.
Wow.
That's it's just a scary thing, especially, you know, when you're thinking of your arm. Yes, Yotam. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Thunder, fantasy RPG.
Yeah, I don't know if, you know, not everybody is into role playing games, you know, but I really love them, and I grew up on them, and I think that they're in many ways I owe my writing career to it. You know, I'm sure most guys in the stream know, but I write television in Hollywood, and I think my skill at developing stories came from two camps, right? It came from role-playing games where you had to come up with characters and design a story, and I was always the dungeon master, so it would always, that process of working through that really helped craft my storytelling, which became my career, and then comics, which is my passion. I always kind of separate them that way, right? Because comics, you do them for the love of the game, right? Or at least for myself, you know, I do them for the love of the game.
Nice. That's crazy and pretty cool. Reminds me of Rotten.com with the guy that got his arm ripped off playing tug of war.
We got into the arm ripped off. It's a perfect topic, right, Wyman, for the Kill Journal.
Yeah.
Because There's some arms. And I know a few of the folks have backed here that are on the stream have backed, and so I want to show you guys, if you're cool, Wyman, I just want to show a couple of pages because I know issue 1 went out digitally. Maybe some of you guys are digital readers, but I know some guys even like to look at issue 1 digitally and just kind of make sure it's cool, and then wait for the hardcover or however you like to do it. These are some cool pages here that I wanted to show you here. You know, Jason has been hard at work, and so here's some fun issue 2 pages. Or it's not, maybe it's not changing, but yeah, you can see here. So this is their meetup with the Revenant Happy Face, and this battle. These are the first couple pages of issue 2. This grad moment where St. George puts a hole through his hand. And Happy Face just looks through at him and smiling. You know, cool beats. You can see, Steve Cannon did such a great job with the colors, and has been doing such a great job with the colors, and then Jason's artwork is just really something else. So, so these are some fun little sneak peeks for anybody who's already backed so far about the Kill Journal. You can see that it just only gets better.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll stop that share so I can. I got a few more pages. Let me just swap it out here. And then here is a couple more in black and white, which I think we're going to do a black and white release of this at some point. Jason's artwork is just so dynamic in black and white. But you can see this is one of these revenants. In our story world, revenants are vengeful spirits back for the dead, hungry for revenge. Some people call them slashers, but revenants include slashers and then a broader world, right? And in the Kill Journal, the survivors of revenant attacks have all banded together under this crazy preacher, St. George, who's leading them on this hunt to take out these revenants who have destroyed their lives, right? These are the people who are left over after the horror movie, whose friends have all been killed and their families are all dead. And you're right. And really, that's where the horror movie ends, right? The cops show up at the end and people are like, people have these look of relief on their face, cut to black. Never mind the years of therapy to deal with.
Seriously.
Yeah. And thank you, Frog G. I can't wait to get it to you. But this is, so this is that pack of people who are essentially trauma survivors trying to put their lives back together, and they use revenge, to take out these revenants as their solve, which, so we have this, I consider a splatter movie with a conscience, right? It's a horror movie, but these characters are troubled, trying to solve their own demons inside while they fight demons on the outside. So this is Happy Face, which is a revenant that comes in right at the end of issue 1 and falls into issue 2 because it's collected. It's a 112-page graphic novel, right? But I broke it up into pages, but into issues so people could get it as we go. But you can see these rad pages from Jason that really, the lines are just, they just make me happy. But I can see doing a black and white, maybe even just a black and white digital release for those who just want a taste of it in black and white. I just got Graham Nolan's Chenu the other day. Back that it was a pretty good. Oh, you did? Okay, you did. And it was a pretty good little horror story, and I just wanted it more. I wanted more characters, more pages. But it's nice. I think a horror story reads in black and white pretty good. So here is some of the cool pages. So that's for those who've already backed, and I know a couple are on here. That's I wanted to give them a sneak peek. I'll turn the screen back over to you, my friend.
Wow, that's cool. It's hot, says Yo Tom. Well,
Yes,
that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dario Hernandez. Thanks for being here. Kill Journal is going to be epic. Looking forward to the physical book in my hand.
Yes, I know. I love, it's kind of a mixed thing. Eric, so Yeah, so we had a good success. We had around 1,100 backers jump in on Asunder, and it was a good success. We did around 119 on it. We were really, really excited about it. And that project is going to stay in pre-orders, Eric, so for the next 4 to 5 months as we get it delivered. Right now, in fact, here's a fun thing. If you people like, Eric, those minis that are on there, here is one of them. Let me pull that away so you can kind of.
Oh my gosh, that's big.
You get 9 of these with the game.
What? Wait, are they that size, or is that just the?
That's one of. Several of them are this size as well, but they're all like 42 millimeter and up. So they're like they're big and they're fun. And this one is, dang it, that light is blasting. I'm trying to get. But you can see it's really highly detailed. This is just a proof back in from China. And so anyway, so that's Asunder. So it's going to be open for the next bit while we get it delivered. And it's a lot because it's 2 big source books, custom dice, all those minis, keeper screen. Fortunately, unlike with a comic, I did that 100% before over 6 years. Kind of crazy. So what they are made of is they're made of a PVC. Now this is just a proofing. It's kind of like this. See this kind of like pinkish color here, but it's the actuals will be a gray, and they're a PVC, which is just a plastic form, but it's a resilient plastic which got some bendability to it and can survive pretty good. But this thing is real, and it comes off its pedestal, right?
Is the slight flexibility to prevent it from snapping or cracking?
Bingo. Yeah, that's right. See, this proof copy is a little harder than the PVC is.
All right.
Eric, thanks, man. You are too awesome, buddy. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so this stuff is this is much harder, or it doesn't have as much bend to it, right? So it breaks easier, and it's just for proofing. It's a quicker resin that you can just sort of pump out faster. But the finals, it'll all be injection molded, no 3D printing, so it's just a more rugged. It's just a better material.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This should be a movie.
Yes, well, thank you. Children, I hope someday it gets to be one. We've, I love the story's been with me for several years, and I've been thinking about it and been wanting it to bring it to life as a graphic novel so much. I think in some ways, yeah, that's right, Eric. It's same thing. Yep. Yeah. PVC is the good stuff for toys. But so much of it, Wyman, is like, I've worked on the story for years, and I write television now, and I love it. And I'm writing an interactive series right now over at Netflix, and it's fun. But there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, which is part of it because it's lots of money and there's lots of complications, right? But graphic novels are exciting because you can tell your story with you and your artist. And granted, there's always feedback because nobody's smart enough to do it without any. But it's nice to get you and your artist creating, and you can really craft and get your whole statement said before there's a note that comes in that changes it, right? And so so that's one of the things I love about doing the comics is it's a chance to create really organically, and to let the story breathe and happen and let it be what you had hoped it to be, maybe versus meeting maybe some other people's expectations for it, which is fine. That's what that's what TV is. So, but it's fun. It's a really nice departure for me.
Nice. Let's see. Thank you, mods, for dropping links. Everybody back this book. It's freaking awesome. Eric says, Graham Nolan is awesome. One of my favorite creators. Yeah, I backed his campaign, the Chenille. I even got the snow globe.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I love minis.
Well, tell me this, guys, in the chat, and you tell me, Wyman, if you had a figure like this coming with a comic book, would that be exciting to? I was thinking about for my next campaign, maybe to do something like this with the graphic novel. Is that exciting to
Oh, hell
you
yeah.
guys in the chat? Okay.
Oh my gosh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Speaking for myself, I love figurines, statues.
Gotcha.
You probably are well aware of Jason's book Hammer, post Ragnarok story, and how he is actually a sculptor as well.
Yeah.
And he has several of his sculptures on his tiers of his book, and they're pretty impressive. I had to back it, and actually I backed his campaign a couple times, at least, and I had to get at least one of those figurines, and it was sweet.
I know, right? Like, I'm all about that. You know, I've got, you can kind of see there on my mantle, I've got various figurines and minis, and this is one. If anybody knows the graphic novel Headlopper, I just really freaking love. This was theirs. This is fun, just cool vinyl, right?
Oh man,
it's just rad, right? Like, and like, you just love. For me, it's like, it's really, you know, figurines are really a fun way to experience art. Because, for example, you know, putting up a painting is tricky, right? You need the wall space for it. You need whoever your domain partner is to like it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of steps, but like a figurine, you can put all kinds of places, and it's a fun way to experience art. At least.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is really fun.
Do you want to look through the campaign at all, Wyman?
In just a bit, I have to catch up on chat. You're caught up, but I'm not.
No. You do your thing. You do your thing.
Looks like a world boss. What are they made of? All right, you answered that. Great. 4 months. I'm going to get it in 2 weeks. Nice. PVCs is sturdy and slightly flexible. And that's what the Cyber Frog figures are made of too. Yes. Yeah, thanks for dropping the link to Asunder again. Because that definitely looks like a sweet set. You said it also comes with custom dice?
Yeah.
Now, what is the need for the custom dice? I mean, how do they differ from the ones you get from like Dungeons and Dragons, for example? Are they different colors or?
You know what? To be honest, they're just a design. They're just by custom meaning that they're still. It only game plays with 6-sided dice and 20-sided dice.
Okay.
But it's a unique custom design in its layout.
Okay.
That those dice don't exist anywhere else. This specific design and color choice. And the game uses things called boons and banes. So you'll roll 1 die 20, then sometimes roll 1 die 6 and subtract it, or sometimes roll 1 die 6 and add it to that roll. And so, like, I have 3 that are orange and 3 that are brown on the 6-sided dice, and then a separate color, green and orange for the boons and banes, and a brown for the 20, because the world is this organic world in that game. And so it's just it fits in with the gameplay, and their design is one of a kind.
Nice. Thanks, Frog G, for dropping the link for Hammer, a post-Ragnarok tale. Yeah, agreed. Jason is a great artist. Yeah. Definitely. Usually, especially on the first visit to the channel, I like to take a moment and just kind of talk about you a little. About creator. Would you take a moment and share your quote-unquote origin story? How were you raised? What kinds of things were you into as a kid? How did that eventually lead to key points in your life or what kind of schooling or training did you do that led you to get into working for Hollywood, becoming a writer and a storyteller, and eventually coming to making your own crowdfunded RPG games and comic books?
Yeah. So, for myself, I grew up in the theater and doing role-playing games and playing board games and Magic the Gathering, right? So my life was full of lots of fantasy. And, you know, I had 5 sisters and me, so it was lots of socializing. And so, so it got injected early on in my childhood. And so the film pathway was probably, you know, in my mid-teens, knew that's where I was going, and nothing's changed in the last, you know, 30 years about that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is what I'm going to go do. And then there's been zero change in all these decades since. You know, and so and then now, obviously, when you get into Hollywood, you find certain niches and things you might be better at or worse at. And as you're figuring out your way through it. But now what my job is I'm a television showrunner, which is if you're not familiar with television, it's kind of like the director of the whole TV show. Because lots of times you might hire directors to come in and do episodes, but you're overseeing the whole show. And so
a producer?
They call it an executive producer in TV, but in my case, I write it as well. So in this case, like I come up with the story, I write the episodes, and then in my last show, I was directing all of them as well. So I did that for 4 seasons. So it was quite an undertaking.
Wow.
So that's, you know, but I've always loved comics, and I think it was really, you know, if I were to pick the moment, I remember I went into this place called Dragon's Keep in Utah, where I grew up for a portion of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going in there to pick up a book for Dungeons and Dragons, origin story, and I've had a pop. And I saw Jim Lee's X-Men. And it was the first time I thought comic books were cool. Because I was like, wait, they just aren't kind of like some dumpy guys in underwear. They look like these, you know, really muscled, you know, badass guys. And Cyclops had, you know, cool sunglasses instead of that awkward visor thing. And I was like, wow, maybe comics are cool. And so it was really Jim Lee's art that kind of opened the door. And then certainly my art tastes have expanded since then. And I think then later on I was doing Snakes on a Plane. I was doing the music video for Snakes on a Plane, that film with Samuel Jackson. And Samuel Jackson came to set, and he was reading a graphic novel called 100 Bullets. If anybody hasn't read it, it's one of the most amazing series ever. And I was sitting there looking at that, and I was like, man, if that's cool enough for him, that's got to be cool. That's got to be cool enough for me, right? If Sam Jackson thinks it's cool, it's got to be legit. So I went out and bought that graphic novel, 100 Bullets, and that just changed my whole worldview. We don't want the morons in tights. And so I saw I saw 100 I read 100 Bullets, and it was a non-superhero story, and it was an Image comic, and it was, you know, didn't have anything to do with, you know, what the Marvel or DC universe is. And it totally took me away. I was like, wow, there's this whole other side of what comics can really be, right? Because you kind of grow up just thinking that it's Marvel, DC, and it's, you know, it's Batman and X-Men, and that's what it is. And it really opened my mind to it, and that's what got me excited about writing them, because they were just so much more literary, and it really got me very excited. So that's been kind of that's what opened the door. And then when COVID hit, I've been working on the 8th, my first graphic novel, for a couple of years with the artist. I was just paying for it out of my pocket, and it was almost like a pastime. I hate to say it like that. It was like this side project. And so then, and then when COVID hit, I was like, wait, this is my chance to I have the time to dedicate to trying to do a campaign, and let's see if it can work. And then now here I am, you know, 2 board games and 2 graphic novels later over this year of 2020, and it's and I'm hooked, you know, and you know, I've established a publishing company, and that's will be my sideline passion while I still work in Hollywood. So that's the story in a nutshell.
Wow. Was it one of those cases where you did a lot of research and actually did jobs that would eventually lead you into working for Hollywood, or did Hollywood come knocking on your door?
No, I mean, it was always, so I was, like I said, I did theater when I was a kid. And then when I was 21, I started my own local commercial production company. So I go like knock on local businesses' doors and say, hey, I'll make your commercial for you. It'll cost you $3,000 or $5,000, you know. And so I was making a bunch of bad local commercials. And I was hiring people who knew better than I was willing to sell it. And then I knew people who were better than me. So then I would hire them. I would watch them work. I read the entire AFI library of books. And I would hire like a really good cinematographer, watch him work. And then on the next job, I would light it myself or do these other things to train myself over those years of running this small production company. And then I met some guys working on Napoleon Dynamite, where I was there at the time. And I said, hey, I'm moving to Los Angeles next week. And they said, hey, we got a film we're doing. Would you come AD it? Because I'd been working as assistant director. Like you run the set and get things together. And they said, we need somebody who can come in and do this small low budget movie. So I was making $50 a day on my first job, you know, for about 14 hours of work. And, and so I, you know, packed up, moved to Los Angeles and then I worked my way up the chain. Assistant director, I was producing commercials and producing movies. I wrote a couple of movies that got sold, and then started directing as well. And so that was the ride for me. Lots of 100-hour work weeks in the early days. Lots. Now those.
Did you also get in, since you were in theater, did you also get into acting as well?
You know, I did it in my early days when I was a child, and then I was about 23 and I directed this movie. It was a terrible film, which I can't name. Because no one should ever see it. But so I directed this bad movie, and I remember there interacting with the actors, and I was thinking, man, I could then go and be in an audition room next to these guys. And I realized that this really wasn't what I was anyways, or what my real destiny was. But I'm grateful for that time because it's been very helpful to understand actors because you need to love them and be able to connect with them. And so I'm grateful for that. But, you know, wasn't my ultimate destiny.
Wow, cool. And are both of your crowdfunding campaigns related to the RPGs for the same project, for the same property, or are they two different, unique RPGs?
No, so the first one, if you can imagine, so here's the first one is right here. It's done. The first one is done, which I did earlier this year, called Escape the Night. It's a proper proper board game. And it's the real deal, and it's based on my TV show that I run called Escape the Night. So the star and I got together and said we should, because we loved a board game together. My star of the show, Joey Graceffa, and so we said we should make a board game and launch it on Kickstarter. So we did, and it really opened the door to everything for me, and it was really successful. I mean, we had his fan base and the TV show's fan base, so we had about 6,800 backers on this one.
Whoa.
So it was a much bigger thing, but board games also have a much bigger upside. And we've been doing the TV show, you know, for 4 years. So I don't credit that to just myself, clearly, you know, and I had a proper celebrity promoting it. And so, but it turned out really great. And in fact, they're literally in the factory right now. And I'm desperately trying to get them, you know, out of the factory and on a boat before Chinese New Year. So,
yeah, really.
And it is, you know, it's rough times. So, but that's where we are. And so that's not disconnected, and the graphic novels are not connected to Asunder. It's all different things. So
is that, wow. Were you, when you decided you were going to crowdfund that first project, that first RPG, what, did you have a lot of experience with crowdfunding, or do you just like jump in it with both feet and learn on your, you know, hit the ground running?
Well, so what happened with the board game, initially Escape the Night. So, well, maybe my whole history that was, I did a crowdfunding campaign for another TV show I had done called Will Wheaton's Tabletop, and it was a celebrity board gaming show. And Google paid for it the first 2 seasons, and then the 3rd season they didn't, and so we crowdfunded it, and we used Indiegogo, and we raised $1.5 million. It was back, you know, and if you can think about that, it was back, you know, like 8, maybe 9 years ago, and that was my first real experience with it. And then from there, I hadn't really done anything with that. Was my first experience. And then Escape the Night came to Escape the Night game. And I had a publishing partner, so they really they helped out a lot. And then the 8th was my first on my own. And so I had a sense of how to do things and how to run things, but some of obviously the details, the mechanics of the back end. But I learned a lot, having done, because I've fulfilled this game, which is a massive order. And no, I mean, it's just shipping costs to get it out of China is like 18 grand just in boat weight. It's crazy because there's so many copies. But yeah, so like I kind of cut my teeth on it. And by no means would I say I'm an expert by any means. There are people who are a lot better than me who do cooler stuff. But I'm growing.
Did I hear right that the Will Wheaton crowdfunder was done on Indiegogo instead of Kickstarter?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So I remember back then we had this debate about it because Indiegogo said, "Hey, if you go on our platform, we'll only take we'll take less of a percentage," and Kickstarter wouldn't give us a discount. But Indiegogo believed that our project was going to be successful because of the show, and so they gave us this big discount. It took a lot less money, and it actually ended up being really great for us.
Wow.
Because we got to keep a lot more of the money to make, and then we actually made we made a season of Tabletop, and then another whole other show was so successful. So that's why I had a lot of good feelings about Indiegogo when I came back to it, because I'm like, the Indiegogo people, they were really cool with us. So that's kind of it. Yeah,
definitely. So our ogre, thank you for coming. This is the one with the cool mask and the leather book. Cool.
That's right. He gets it. That's right.
Balza says, "Yikes!" I think that's in reference to the expense of shipping from China.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're also shipping an extra 2,000 copies to have here for continued distribution afterwards. So it's just like it's crazy.
Have you guys already exhausted the 2,000 extra?
No. So what's happening is the star of my show, he's got a merch store already for his other stuff, and so they'll go in that merch store long term.
Oh, all right.
So yeah.
What a trip! Oh my gosh. Excuse me. So you got this project called the Kill Journal.
That's right.
And how long was this in the works? What was the inspiration? Oh, the inspiration was the old horror movies, right?
Yeah, well, the inspiration, I think this for me was, that I, for this story, is I always had this feeling after I would watch a horror movie, and I loved horror movies, what happens to these people on an emotional level after this traumatizing event? Where do they go? What becomes of them? And so that's where this story kind of picks up, is after the credits have rolled on the horror movie, right? And there's the leftover folks. And they essentially wage war against these revenants or slashers who've killed their family and friends. But because of this trauma, they're also broken inside, right? They're troubled themselves. So they're trying to solve their own inner demons as they fight outer demons as well. Because I think that with any of my stories, I try to find two things, right? What's the supernatural element, in this case, battling revenants, and then what's the intimate, personal part of it, and that's being a trauma survivor and learning how to recover. So that's and like Silvar had mentioned, I do have a really cool. This is a leather-bound edition. Kill Journal. And it's hard to tell here from the screen, but there's all this detailed design in it. It's built like St. George, who keeps their kill journal, or the record of all the people, all the revenants they've killed, and all the things they did to figure that out. It's the design of it is based on this 12th century Catholic Bible, and there's actually like clues hidden inside of the design work on it. That's really a cool thing. Yeah, so there's like a little bit of a game to play while you read it, because some of those designs appear inside of the story. It ties some things together. And it's really, I wanted to do a leather-bound edition because I always want to make something that feels like an experience when crowdfunding. I know other people would say, Adam, just do the $25 soft cover. And I get that too. But I think for me, like I love to get the special something, right? Like you got the snow globe, right? For Jenny, right? It's like,
Sure.
you want a little special something. So that's what it is. And, you know, I committed to a certain amount of order so I could get the price down, so that people could get 112 page, you know, plus covers and extras on top of that, you know, leather bound book for $40. That would look special on your mantle. It'll look special on your coffee table. It'll be cool to read. And the art itself, you know, the design of the book, you know, feels like, once again, it's more art connected to the story. So.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to ask you, in terms of crowdfunders, did you, when you were doing all the ones for the board games, the RPGs, did you do all the fulfillment yourself, or did you hire a fulfillment company?
Yeah, so with Escape the Night, I have two. One called Quartermaster Logistics in Georgia, and they handle the U.S. and Canada, and another one called Games Quest, and they're out of the U.K. and they handle the rest of the world. So I essentially send everything to a factory in China. In this case, it's E-Star, and they're in Ningbo. And then it goes on a boat from there to those fulfillment centers, and then they ship it out. Wow. Because it's just, you know, I can imagine trying to manage 6,700 orders all across the globe. And also to, you know, the hard part is with lots of people, with the benefit of fulfillment centers is it really saves your backers money, because what they do is if I send it to a fulfillment center in the UK, they can ship it to somebody in London at the same price that I can ship it to somebody in Nevada, you know, because they can ship it all at local rates. It's something that's localized. So instead of it being, you know, all those customs charges, et cetera, it takes all those out. So it's more fair for your backers.
Oh yeah.
Because I've thought about that a lot. Like, man, you know, you need to make a product that's cool enough to that you wouldn't go to your local comic shop and said you choose this, right? And you don't want to kill them on shipping because it doesn't, you know, I don't get the shipping money. They don't, you know, the shipping money goes to somebody who didn't do anything, you know, in regards to making the book. And so how can I shrink that number as much as possible so that the most amount of backers money goes into the book out of the mailman.
Yeah. Yeah, shipping is crazy.
Yeah, and COVID has not helped our shipping costs. But this is another cool thing. We did a mask because, once again, trying to make it an experience and special. This is this cool fiberglass resin mask. It's got padding inside of it, an elastic strap. You can wear it and you can move around quickly in it. You are definitely the most badass person in the room if you have this on. And with COVID, you can just keep wearing it. You can wear it to Target. You know, you can just go. But it's super rad. It's got little air slits in the grooves there on the mouth. But this is one of the Revenants named Dylan, who's in the graphic novel. That's his mask, and I thought it was a really exciting way to connect with the story. Once again, is to have the mask, right? It's kind of a one of a kind piece.
Oh yeah, for sure. N95 rated too. No. When you put on the mask, is there like a black like a hose or like a mesh fabric or something that covers the mouth region, the nose region, and the eyes? Or
no, the eyes. I just blacked them out there because it looks a little spookier. But there's no mesh there.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no mesh there. You can see clearly out of it. And on the inside, there's tabs, so on your forehead and here, so that way your skin's not, you know, sitting on the plastic, if you will.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, Eric, thank you, brother.
Welcome, Edwin. The Ace launches January 31st. Acevedo. Hail, peeps. Reminds me of Splatterhouse.
Yes.
Eric got the leather-bound version. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, Eric's rad. Yeah, no, this is Splatterhouse. That's what this is. This is a fun Splatterhouse experience and ride. So
cool. Yeah, the shipping is a nightmare. Hopefully they don't treat the packages like eBay does, though.
Yeah, I mean, you pay a little bit of a premium for them, but John is on. Boom, John Hervey.
Welcome.
Is that you pay a little premium for them, but hopefully they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because with what you pay, they better not be doing that. But it's all they have the sophisticated mailers and et cetera. Now, I'm trying to. I'm interested in using. I've also tried to figure out other sources. I know that John Malin is doing it as well, offering fulfillment service here, and maybe there might be a plan. I've got to fully settle on this one, just because we're running the 8th through Quartermaster Logistics, but I may switch that up for this one because I'd obviously love to help other people in the. I want to spread the money to the people in the camp.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Would rather pay more for shipping for people that care than just slash and dash everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Welcome, Bionic Bruh. Hail, peeps. This stream is filled with my favorite peeps.
Yeah.
Back Magna, The Last Pantheon. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. That's a good book, too.
Yeah, no, I back that. I definitely back that. John is one of the most legit dudes out here. His first book, Black Tiger, if you haven't seen that, it's great. It's got this great kung fu angle on it. It just feels like, man, that's the kung fu story you wanted. And Magna feels like he's even gone another level up. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, pretty trippy stuff. Excuse me. Man. Movie quality replica of The Mask.
That's right. No, this is the real deal thing. This isn't some paper thin thing. This is what I would have on set.
Wow. Do you picture people, a lot of people wearing these come next Halloween?
Well, I hope so. Right now, 22 people bought it. Plus, we had a couple giveaways. And so I would love, next, when they get in their hands, I would love anybody to send photos, obviously, when they do. And for next Halloween, it would be epic, to get some shots of that going out there. I mean, here's the thing. When you put that thing on, because I got one in and I then shipped it to a guy who won a drawing. But when I put that thing on, it was just like, when you're walking around the house and you see yourself in the mirror and you see what you look like, it's just like, you are living the horror movie, and it's just like you're just dying to wear that to a party, just to be that guy. So,
did you notice you changing your posture and your character suddenly changing right before your eyes?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Black Tiger is amazing. My favorite CG book. Chenu is a close second.
Oh, yeah.
That's so sick looking. CG's leveling up. I'm just trying to keep up. Bionic Bros. I sure as hell would. Wear the mask everywhere and take pictures. Can't wait to get Kill Journal.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford the mask tier.
Yeah, well, Frog G, you and I should chat offline sometime about that. We got to take care of you. You've been such a support.
Man, add on the 8th hardcover edition.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is like you can get. This is the first graphic novel I did here. It's a 212-page hardcover slipcase. It's got spot UV and embossed. It's a really sexy-looking book. There's just working with the factory right now because that starts shipping pretty soon, getting the details of the cover worked out, and so really pumped.
Wow. Holy moly. The book that started it all, 200-page epic tale of a teenage math genius in search of ancient Sumerian armor. And then we got Rise of the Revenants, original artwork.
Yes, That's a cool piece, right? Preston Acevedo did that.
Of course, Preston.
Of course, right?
Uh,
Well, there's a colored version of this print, and that was for everybody who backed during the campaign. They'll get that print for free. And then we threw up the original as well if people want to purchase it. Which if no one does, that's fine because I'll be figuring it out with Preston because I would love that. It's 11 by 17. It's just such a rad. Such a rad piece. So.
oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, very rad. Wearing to a party would be sick, but I'd get arrested if I brought my knife too.
Nothing wrong with bringing a knife to a party. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool. The Preston Acevedo original of the incredible Rise of the Revenants print, 11 by 17 pencils on comic board. You will be grateful this is what you used your lunch money on. Oh man.
Yes, right?
Heartstealer Revenant stretch goals.
Yeah, so this was a really cool thing for us is that I wanted to include other writers and artists to get them involved because there's one thing to tell the story that's mine, but when another writer or another artist picks it up. So we had 4 stretch goals. They're 4 6-page stories which cover the origin of each one of our main characters the night they were attacked. Yeah. They're all written by different writers and artists. And what I wanted to do was instead of slowing down our story with tons of origin story, backstory, I wanted the graphic novel to read much faster and to be a horror movie itself. But then I think people want to be able to explore these. And so there's these 6-page, I call them dossier stories that tell the night each one of our characters was attacked. And we unlocked all 4 of them. So it's awesome. And so that added 24 pages to the book. And yeah, pretty rad.
Yeah. And oh, damn, the artwork here.
Yeah.
Is this
also we have? What's that?
Is this also Jason?
No, these are some early character designs I had done by an artist named Tauntaun Revolver.
Revolver.
Amazing, right? Amazing French artist. He just gone on to work for, League of Legends and other big things, and is no longer in sort of this comic booky space. But he was my early, crafting the early designs. But
that's pretty.
But no, yeah, right.
Yeah, especially the heart that's bursting in his hand. Heartstealer Revenant, literally.
Right? Truly, yeah. So there's a story by, the first one here is Marty's Tale. Shay the Red wrote it, who did an amazing job, by the way. And Michael Okora did the art. It's a really cool Nigerian artist. And then there's Finch's story, Brian Kriskow and Maxi Dallo, 2 of our favorites from, Six Gun Gorilla and Jack Irons. And then we've got a third story that was drawn by Jason and written by Cody Fernandez, also Jack Irons. See, that's interesting is Jason started out as my artist on one of these small stories. I just met him on a stream. And then my main artist on the book, a different guy named Raymond, fallen ill and he's like, I can't complete the book on time. I have to bow out. And so Jason swapped it at the last minute, and it's been one of the best things. So
wow. You're working with both Jasons, Krager and
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then The Tale of Betrayal to a Deadly Cult, written by Chris Stock Wyatt. Art by Maria Lopez, colors by Fabiano Famo Montesano. Yeah, Shay the Red, right on. That's the story that she couldn't really talk much about because it was top secret for a while.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Then we got the profiles of the survivors. Man, this is such a clean-looking campaign.
Thank you.
Sydney lost her daughter to Revenant. You were on Red Valkyrie's channel before, right?
or early
Yeah,
on?
so Shay and I, we launched it on Shay's channel, and we had a bit at the end on Shay's channel. And she's just awesome and has been such a fan. And I've been on her writing group a bunch, and she's just one of the cool. Yeah, she's just one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. She rocks. One of the things, for those of you who aren't aware about Red Valkyrie streams, is whenever they're promoting a new book, she dresses as a character from the book that they're highlighting, they're profiling.
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head which one she dressed as.
She dressed like Sydney.
Sydney? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
No, she was Oh, no, I'm sorry. She dressed like Marty, and her story is about Marty. So she did the whole thing. It was cool. She had the wound, the whole. She just such a gem.
Cool. Nice.
So these are the various main characters in the story. Finch, he grew up in the dogfighting pits on the Mexican border. One day a dog didn't show, so his dad threw him in the ring, and he killed the dog as a young kid, and he became a dog fighter himself.
Oh my gosh.
And then one day Mr. Christie shows up and takes out his dad and all the people to fight, and he's broken free. And so he's obviously a troubled character, right, with that kind of past.
Oh man!
And he's his worry is that he may come back as a revenant himself, because he is plagued, and he even at one point steals one of the revenant masks and keeps it buried in the woods. That it's his inner demon trying to come out, and maybe he could even become a revenant. So.
Eric's asking, who's the colorist for Kill Journal?
Steve Cannon did it, who also did Jack Irons. I took everybody from that book. But Steve Cannon is doing the color work on it, and he's been doing great. He's been doing rad stuff.
Well,
By his site.
That can be one of your the quotes that's a selling point for buying the book. It'll make you want to buy a scythe.
Yeah, the scythe.
All right,
That's hilarious.
I need a scythe tier.
A scythe tier, right? That's coming up next.
Yeah. Was listening while looking at Indiegogo directly. Hey, John, if you're still here.
So I'm going to bring up the, if you're asking about color, I can show you, here are some, because once again, I know there's some guys who backed, like with Eric, so I'm going to show you some stuff from issue 2 that might be fun. Okay, here we go. Let me I'm going to share this screen so you can see his rad work.
Awesome. Whoa.
So here's the first couple of pages. Here's the first 6 pages from issue 2. I don't want to give away the whole thing. That'll also be dropping for next month. But you can see this is their battle with Happy Face. And Steve does some pretty rad work with the colors. As you can see.
Man, that was good.
All right. Yeah. I love how he does it. So that's you can see that the pages continue to deliver. So it's a little different style of the pinup work that's there, but in many ways, I think really has a grittier, more raw feel to it. That maybe works better in the actual narrative of the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. Looks epic. Nice.
Yes. So Yeah, so it's cool. I wanted, and I know that John Hervé is backer number 2, by the way. This is beyond time. Yeah, Tampa beat him to the punch of number 1, but John is been. I can't wait for him to read it and see it because just such a great writer himself. So.
I see that Jason likes women with mohawks.
It's funny you say that, Eric. He that one of the characters has crows in this as well too, which he also has in his Ragnarok story. Right? He's like, man, I'm drawing crows for the end of my life. Yeah, I know, but also to my 2 girls, one has short hair, one has like this mohawk. So it's like this is no girls with long curly hair in this tale.
Right. Such great art. That's right.
Yeah.
What's wrong with mohawks? Can't be mad for getting the number 1 spot. Yeah.
No, I think we all have a lot of love for Tampa.
Who doesn't like mohawks?
I back it. I think it is like it's kind of badass if a girl can rock that mohawk and while wielding a bloody machete. It's like it's exciting in a whole new way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Brickin'. Is that a sawed-off shotgun? Or
that's right. Yeah, it's a sawed-off double barrel that he's put together.
Yeah. And you got a chainsaw on the back. Cool.
So here is, in fact, what might be a fun thing to realize is that no one has seen all the way through is, speaking of some cool art, I'll do this last share here, is that this will be the next mini story that comes out with issue 2 here in February. But you can see here, this is, I don't know if it's sharing or not.
Tampa number 2 on our Twitter, number 1 in our hearts.
But if you want to let me share this, there you go. So this is Wyman. This is Shay's story, and she had this really cool idea with the color that it would start in black and white, and that it would get more and more colorful, right, as the panels went on until it became in full color when it's in the present day. And so she really told a really interesting tale about this girl who gets jealous of her dad lost his job as a chemist, ended up making bombs in the basement for the mob. He finally gets a girlfriend, and then Marty gets jealous because she's been his lab assistant, and now there's this new woman that's taking all the time. And so she gets angry about it, and they go to this carnival, and she goes to this fortune teller who promises a way to get rid of everything you don't want. But it's enacting this urban myth, hence the Heart Stealer Revenant. And so she maybe makes a choice that she regrets. She wanted to get rid of this woman in her life, and the Heart Stealer Revenant did that for her, except it did it by killing her father.
Oh, gosh. How tragic.
And that's what prompted the Mohawk.
Man.
Right? Because it's like, it got rid of the woman in your life. She's never around again, but it just cost you everything. So. Yeah. So this is what I like about this is a cool way to also see our story world. That's a different artist and a different writer. So it's really neat.
Yeah, that's a nice take.
Yeah.
Those male-friendly badges would make cool patches.
To Amber Heard number 2,
as opposed to Amber Heard number 2, and Johnny Depp number 1 in our pity. That's terrible. Back in the day, I loved the lead singer of Bow Wow Wow, my first Mohawk crush.
That is amazing. And that's really what the Kill Journal has to offer, right? It's this spider movie with a conscience. It's harrowing. It's epic. It has tremendous art, complex characters, and it's a amazing horror setting that promises more than just that. And so it has a beautiful packaging with this leather bound edition for you to get into the world.
Yeah, so literally everything is in the leather bound volume. Well, except for that other add-on book.
That's right.
200 something pages alone.
That's right. So with this, all the add-ons just enhanced the book more. At least for myself, I think I like that the most. Maybe versus cards or splash art or whatever. No, those are cool too. But I think the thing I always want the most when I see campaigns like, oh, we'll add pages or add a thing to the book, I'm like, ooh, that's the one I want.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. I like it all. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, the gore.
Yeah, see, and he's trying to put his child's head back together because he's in such shock. He's thinking he can put it back together.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
So these pages that are here at the end of the campaign are essentially the first 6 pages of the book, and they give people a great opportunity to, read it. They're lettered, so you can get a feel for the story and what it is versus just
going in.
Yeah. I like to give people that opportunity, because I think sometimes, you can see a good piece of art, but if the writing and story aren't really clicking for you, it's a little rough. So.
Yeah. Man, this is so sweet. Killer interiors.
Thank you. Yeah, courtesy of Mr. Krager and our fabulous Steve Cannon. So, and the thing about it is Jason has been delivering, at a really incredible speed. That we're essentially delivering on, big 2 studio timelines. We're getting out a book a month, and we've been pushing hard. And we're, getting close to being done here with issue 2, and we'll be starting issue 3 this month. And we're just rocking it out, not letting up steam.
Damn. All right, so I might be misunderstanding, but are you saying that you're trying to get to the point at which Kel Journal is released once a month?
Oh, no. So the way it works out, I should have said this up front, Wyman, is that what we do with all of our books is that if you back it for the digital version, what you get is you don't have to wait till the end and get one big lump. You get an issue every month after the campaign closes. So like this campaign closed in December, and so January, first Wednesday in January, we delivered issue 2. We delivered issue 1 to all of the backers and one of the mini stories fully completed. And the next month, so instead of your monthly update being, hey guys, we're making progress, it's like, hey, here's issue 1.
Yeah.
Here's the whole story. So you're really seeing it and experiencing it. And also too, because it's immediate. And there are some people, who are digital only folks. That's not everyone, but that's some. They prefer it because if you're a digital person, you're wanting it immediate, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you don't have to wait through, the finalizing and printing and shipping it back from China and all that stuff, you can just start reading the story and enjoy right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes, Frog G is saying yes. So for 7 months, and Frog G is saying here from the 8th, our first graphic novel, I delivered the first Wednesday of every month for 7 months. We had a couple day delay because of my thumb on this one, and then for Kill Journal we delivered right on time. We delivered right on time the first Wednesday this month. So we're rocking it.
Yeah, Eric's loving the panel layout too. Silver needs to hit the lottery along with me. And along with you.
Great, Silver. I'm in line right behind you. If we could just get that.
Yeah, if we could all like get in line and each win the lottery one after the next, that'll
we could just win
do it.
it and share. Win it and do a little sharing. I can work with that.
Yeah, really. Can confirm the digital releases just got issue 7 of the 8th today. Nice. Yep, you've got a reputation for delivering, which is really, really good.
No, we got to do that, right?
Yeah, heck yeah. 23,493 for 366 backers. That's pretty sweet. Let's
Yeah,
catch.
really.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Let's watch the video. Yeah, let's watch the video.
My name is Sydney Valentine, and I'm a survivor. A revenant slaughtered everyone I love, including my daughter. They're evil spirits, back from the dead who wield machetes and tire irons, and a bullet to the head won't stop them. After one butchered his congregation, St. George claims God called him to hunt the revenants, and he's recruiting survivors to join him. Most won't make it out alive, but at least they're taking a stand. God has his book of life, and St. George has his kill journal.
Oh, that's sweet.
There it is.
Who was the voiceover?
An actress named Savannah Southern Smith. She was on my show Escape Tonight in a couple of seasons, and she's rad. She's rad. And in fact, I have a second video there too. You can click over. If you click the next picture, I did a second video a little later on to try and pull. Yeah.
It's still buffering.
Yeah, of course.
And I've got reasonable internet.
I know, but it always seems to be the case, right?
Yeah. Uh-oh, is this the day that I get canceled by big tech?
This is when it comes for you, my friend.
My time is up. Goodbye. I've been added to the kill journal. Oh, man. Come on now. It should be fully buffered by now. Come on, man.
But this was another. It's not as animated. It was more from panels. I was trying to try a different flavor and see if it worked. If people liked it.
There's a war going on, and I've seen the enemy. Revenants is what they call them. Vengeful souls back from the dead and hungry for blood. I can't fight the war alone. I need soldiers. Those who face the evil that lurks in the shadows. Those who've lost someone. Those with nothing left to lose. I can take their broken lives and reshape them. I can make them into something violent and holy. I can give them revenge, but I cannot give them peace. Only God can do that, and He stopped listening to me long ago. There's a moment that comes when they know whether they're a victim or a survivor. There's a war going on. Which one will you be?
Oh, there's some detail on
There it is.
on the leather binding, the leather cover.
Yeah. Let me get it. Yeah, you can start to see it more effectively there. Let me see.
Whoa, that's cool.
But yeah, so that's Mateo and I. I love doing the videos. I think they're a great way to. I think they're a great way to connect and to give the story because you have such a brief amount of time and the competition's crazy, right?
Yeah.
In the crowdfunding space, so you got to make it shine.
Yeah, I love promo videos and trailers and teasers.
Nice.
And so this stuff is, the kind of stuff I'm into. Who was the voiceover on this?
Another actor from Escape the Night. His name is Chris Wu. He's done a lot of projects with me. Super talented guy, and I feel grateful that I have connection with good voice talent who are willing to do me some solids from time to time, because it really, it just enhances the drama so much. I mean, my voice is whatever, but these people, it's like they're a real actor, and you get something out of it. You get some emotion out of it. So.
Oh yeah, they were both good. Very cool.
Well, thank you.
The physical ad for the 8th looks good too.
Yeah,
well, physical add-on. Yeah,
yeah.
It does. I was thinking the same thing. Good gracious. I'd recommend getting that add-on if you didn't get the 8th. It's really good. Yeah, I missed out on the 8th, and man, I got to find a way to mysteriously find more money. So this was pretty effing cool. She's got a great voice. I agree. No, don't take our WyzGyz.
Yeah.
Wish this was a Switch game too. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, I know. Wouldn't that be just so fun, dude?
Oh man.
I'm gonna let me show you something here real quick. You can, for the 8th.
I'm so worried he and all his children will become revenants themselves.
So Wyman, here's the last one for the 8th. I just sent you the video for that. You can still watch on YouTube. Speaking of videos, I think this was was the better of the two.
According to my math teacher, I'm the smartest kid she's ever met. I solved the Millennium math problem. But nothing changed. My brother still hung himself. Mother's still depressed. The kids at school are still horrified to each other. But what if there was a way I could fix all that? What if I could take this broken world and reassemble it? And even if the world didn't want to, I would make it change. Make it see things differently. The only problem is that sometimes the world pushes back and makes you do things. Terrible things.
Holy crap. That's freaking awesome.
So that's the 8th.
Wow.
The best way I can say it.
Holy shit. Look at this. Can you make a book about it? I can't find a single place to actually buy this thing. And then, yep, there's the link. Wow, that is so cool. Oh, man. I love it. That is cool. Jeez. Really, really good. That gave me prototype feels. Like that art. Kind of reminded me of Witchblade, just a touch.
Sure. It has some Witchblade elements in it, you would say. Absolutely, in regards to like the design. It's very different from a story standpoint, but there's some elements with the aesthetic of the weapon for sure. Except for he uses mathematics, so his gift is he's a math genius, and the suit, this piece of ancient Sumerian armor, runs on math equations. So if he wants it to do something, he has to run a new equation in his mind and solve it, and then it will perform the action.
Oh, that's bitchin'. Oh, so, damn. That. Oh crap! That connects to my nerdy side.
Well, I hope so.
Math and art were my favorite subjects in school. Oh
well,
shit!
Then you get it.
Oh damn! Yeah, Witchblade. Oh jeez! Good gracious! That is killer.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Well, and if you want the 8th, you can also add it on. Watch out, Elon. Yes.
So like numbers meets Venom.
It's a
Yeah.
good way to say it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good summation. Yeah. Oh, damn. Whew. Let's kill journal. Back it if you haven't. If you already backed it and you feel inclined, back it again. Back it twice. Back it 3 times a lady. Oh.
Yeah, I can never be upset about that. That's for sure.
So we've got these awesome perks. I always love it when there's a featured perk, as people who are frequent visitors to my channel are well aware. Featured tier usually means it's kind of the best bang for your buck. You get all kinds of great stuff. Usually get an extra treat on top of the original book itself. Sometimes it's extra swag merch. Sometimes it's variant covers. And it's not going to be the cheapest tier. It's not going to be the most expensive tier. It's somewhere in the middle. This particular one has the graphic novel in the faux leather cover and a Revenant mask, movie quality at that.
Yeah.
And when it comes to masks, it's basically just one size fits all, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. It's got different padding in it. I mean, if you are normally shaped, it might be a problem, but in general, it's most any folks. Yeah.
What kind of strap does it have? Is it basically is it like a black elastic band, or is it something?
Yeah. It's got an elastic here in the back, and then like it creates like this T back there. And if you needed to, you could cinch it, etc. So.
Gotcha. E equals you fucked.
Dude, Belton is killing it tonight.
Seriously.
Thanks, Silvar.
Take it easy, Silvar. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Gotta run.
And I've got to run too, Wyman, if you don't mind. But it's been awesome to be on here with you.
No, all right. Hey, no problem. I always try and adapt to creator schedules. I know you guys are extremely busy getting this project moving and working on getting it completed. And actually, I think it was probably covered earlier, but how much of the book is actually completed, or is it already technically completed and it's just
with the kill journal?
Yeah, kill journal.
So the kill journal is from a standpoint. It's all 24 pages of the additional stories are done. First issue is done, and then I shouldn't say more than half, 2/3 issue is done. So it'll be done here probably by the end of this week. We'll have a completed issue 2. And so the plan was to deliver April, May, so imagine you're going to get a book, digital issue January, February, March, April, and then May you'll be getting the hard copy.
Nice. Wow. And check out all these tiers when you get a chance. Figure out which one works best for your budget. Really awesome looking stuff. And it's leather bound. That is something I have not seen on any CG campaign yet. And the art is stellar. And,
yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff. I want to give you the floor. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me at Failed Superhero on Twitter. I post updates and chat all the time there. You can also find me on Instagram at Failed Superheroes Club, at Facebook at Failed Superheroes Club. Those are the 3 best ways to find me, and probably any more of me you'd want to get rid of. So that's to find me. And then I And on all of those, there's a link so that you. Oh, I guess on TikTok at Failed Superheroes Club too. But there's also a link on all of those that takes you to a link tree that can get you to any of these books or games.
Oh, nice. And so on TikTok, do you do a lot of dancing?
I don't do any dancing. It's all like my animated stuff and comics images and like, you know. But I thought I would jump on there, and you know, the 8th video had a big hit. It's got almost 130,000 views, and it's just organically on. It's just I had no followers. I just dropped it, and so and once again, I don't have a, you know, I'm agnostic about platforms. Right? I just want to be able to connect with the most people. So.
Oh, sure, yeah. You got to build an audience, and yeah, that's proving to be a really good way to promote products. Balzette is asking, saying, I lagged out. Is the Kill Journal one full story?
Say again. Oh yeah. So this graphic novel is a complete story. There are some open elements to it where the story certainly could continue on. We hope to do a volume 2 and 3 of it. But you can read this and feel complete.
Would it be fair to say that, let's see, so you are releasing these monthly digital versions. Is this like 8 chapters in one volume?
Yeah, so it's essentially 4 comic books in one worth of stories. So that's kind of how it goes out. And so you're getting an entire story and a complete arc. So it's not like then you're waiting for another campaign in another year. It's all there.
Nice. Yeah. Belzette says, okay, awesome. Yeah, really sweet. This is such a cool looking campaign. It looks really clean. All kinds of great merch and stuff. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment, on Twitch at WyzGyz Twitches, Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, Parlay under WyzGyz Parlays. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. Select all notifications so you ensure, or hopefully, you'll get notified at any new video or upload or stream. I wanted to take a moment and thank everyone in chat. You guys are so freaking awesome. Great questions. You guys rock. Everyone, thank you to all who watched this on replay. And thanks to our very special guest, Adam L. Thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it. I hope to have you on again.
Thank you. Would love to, my friend. Appreciate it.
All right, let's close it out.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube sensation. WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.